Okay, Contra Costa College students, this is Dr. Rick Ramos, and I'm going to be going over how the intro course runs. So by now you've already looked at my other video on how to set up D2L and the introduction to D2L. It's going to be about specifically the Administration of Justice 120 course. So this is the first page. When you click into the course, it'll open up. You're going to go to desiretolearn.4cd.edu and you're going to click on my course. And one of the things I want you to see right here, this is the news area. You have a welcome area. There's a movie here that plays that tells you everything about how to use D2L. I would suggest you do that. To access my course, what you really want to do is go up here to course materials, and you want to click on that and move down to content. This is the best way to see what the course looks like. And of course you want to start up here at the very beginning where it says click here to open the course to get started, and you'll see I have some info there. So how to use D2L. I have some practice tools so you can practice submitting something in the Dropbox. Just write anything and stick it on a Word doc and upload it. Take the orientation quiz. You get to take that a number of times, and there's some things about etiquette. Over here you'll see it's in chronological order how the course is going to run. This course really, when you get down to the nuts and bolts, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different areas, special topics that you're going to be studying in. And if you start to click on these things, they'll open up. But I want to start with up here and move down slowly. So we've looked at practice tools. And remember, you can rewind this and play it again if you're not sure. And then we have over here, download the syllabus. This is the syllabus which has all the information on the course. And you can open it in a variety of different ways. Here it is. You can download things by going down here where it says download. You can set up a binder electronically and it'll do it. You can also download things here. So all of this stuff is built in so that you can move around the course, and it's really simple, like just browsing a web page. If you look up here, this is called a breadcrumb trail. You saw that where I started, we can go backwards. So I can move over here back to start on your course, and it'll take me back a page. I want to keep on moving. So you have your orientation, you have your practice tools. You can watch the videos that support. I have some lectures that I've designed, and if you look here on YouTube is where I put everything. It's closed captioned, so if you need to deal with that, you can. All the lectures are embedded for each section here, so you shouldn't have any issues. Once you get into my lectures, you'll be able to simply move around and watch what's going on. And it'll play and you can listen to it, etc. So I'm not going to do that now. So I also did something else for you. I put lecture transcripts so that you can read all the text on the lectures of what I'm saying, because you can read 6 times faster than you can watch. So there's going to be times when you're going to want to deal with that. Now, a bulk of the work that's going to be done in this course, we're going to jump out of this page for a second, and I'm going to move up here, and I'm going to go to what says assessments. And here is all your homework under the Dropbox. And these are all the assignments that you're going to complete over 18 weeks. Now, it looks like a lot, but it really isn't. These are all short assignments, and this is really, we're putting together a research paper that'll be due way down here in October, and then the final draft due in November. But you're slowly going to be building this, and I know you've done these sorts of things before. Find a topic, give me an outline of what you think it's going to look like. But I'm going to teach you a new skill called an annotated bibliography, where you're going to use what's called the PATIA method to build resources that you're going to use. And these things I'm going to teach you are going to help you throughout your academic career. So really, all you're doing here is you're building this paper. You're going to do a short research police project that it's got all the info in there to explain that also, and then you're going to do a career plan, and we'll talk about those in a minute. All of this stuff can be found under Dropbox folders, which is an assessment. So you need to learn that that's one way you can go in. The other thing that you're going to get graded on is going to be quizzes. So under quizzes, you're going to have all of the quizzes. Every chapter you have a quiz. You'll have a final exam at the end, and you'll have a midterm in the middle. Pay attention to when these quizzes open and close, because it's very important. Like you got an orientation quiz this week. That's not a big point gatherer, but you need to read chapter 1 and be ready to take the quiz. So you can read the chapter early. Quiz opens on Mondays. I think it's due on Thursdays or Fridays. I'm not sure. You'll have to look at your syllabus to be sure. But if we're looking at the 25th, we know that that's when it's going to close. So just pay attention to these open and close dates because they're pretty much in cement. The only other thing I want to talk about right here is you have email, and you can email me through this format. The one thing I want to warn you about is when I send you an email blast, you have to go back into the system to compose an email to me. And so it's not really hard. If you start to type my name, it'll show up, and you can click on it and put a subject in and send it off to me. So just remember that when you're doing emails. The other thing you need to be aware of is we're going to be doing discussions, and you have a lot of discussions in here. There's no right or wrong discussions. I'm asking you to perform some activities in here and to describe some things, and I'm sometimes going to ask you for just your opinion. So you have discussions that go along with all your different modules in the course. Okay, so let's go back to the content area. So I've showed you where the lectures are. I've showed you where help with the annotated bibliographies are here. And so we're going to look at annotated bibliographies and how that works. And this basically gives you the assignment for the research paper, described how I want it to work. And then it runs down and it talks about how to do research using PATIA. It's got a movie for you. It has a model for you to follow. I gave you a link to library database to where you could do research, and I even have a movie on how to do that. So all of these things are here to help you. How to write a research paper, APA training video. I have a template for your final paper that you could just fill in. I have a research paper example from one of my students so you can look at it. An APA cheat sheet. We have to use citations. You probably used footnotes before, but we'll have to use citations for this. And then I have an outline template. Look, the topics needs to be related to criminal justice, and you can email me or call me to discuss some of the topics that you might be interested in. My cell phone is 510-501-8706. Please use it when you need to use it. I'm going to move on to and end this video and move on to the next video, which will be on